What's up, friends? So we're now in our third year of owning our 1987 Volkswagen Westfalia camper van, and we've learned a lot over the last couple years through camping trips, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I thought we would do a pros and cons video of Westfalias. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can check out even more of our Westie videos. It's small and simple. It's easy to drive. I mean, it's the size of a regular vehicle. There's lots of visibility, so I feel super comfortable driving it everywhere on the road. It doesn't have any learning curves like larger RVs or a fifth wheeler or trailer might have. So you can kind of just head out on the road and go. It's also fits in a regular size parking spot, which is awesome because you never have to worry about where you're going to park your vehicle, as well as if it's in a normal size garage. So we just store ours in our garage over the winter and we never have to pay for literally just storage fees, because that's a big thing with other RVs. It's super quick to set up. I mean, it literally just takes seconds. You just click and pop. And then we'll just fold down the back seat to make the bed and we're good to camp. They have weak engines. You know, Westies aren't known to be the fastest vehicles around. They have weak engines with low horsepower, so you're not going anywhere anytime fast. And they're gonna struggle going up the hills. It's a leisure vehicle at a leisure pace. And they're just not super reliable, you know? They break down a lot.
They catch fire.
They catch fire. Between cooling issues and catching fire, you're gonna spend some time in a shop or two. The interior space is well designed. So although these vehicles are quite small, they're laid out really well to kind of maximize the amount of space. I mean, it sleeps 4 people. So you sleep 2 people up top and then 2 down here when you fold out the bench, which is pretty impressive. I've been pleasantly surprised with the amount of stuff that we can store in this vehicle. I mean, we've packed this with food and clothes and camping gear, and there is still plenty of room within all of these cabinets. There's just a lot of storage space, a lot more than I thought there would be in such a small vehicle. And everything seems to be made of quality materials between the cabinets and the cushions and the curtains. This is all 35 years old and it all looks really, really good. I mean, they just don't make it like this nowadays. Poor creature comforts. While some Westies have AC mounted up here, ours does not. The AC and the heat only run when the engine is running. So when you're parked and camping, you have nothing. It can get quite hot and quite cold, especially because this is not a well-insulated vehicle. So all the heat kind of just dissipates. Even more so when you have the pop top up. So when it's cold, you really gotta bundle up. We even have extra blankets that we pack in here, and we've had to pop the top down just to keep the heat inside. And on the opposite end, when it's hot, it's super sweaty. You gotta have all the windows open, the door open, and you're sweating. And compared to a modern RV, you don't have a toilet, you don't have a shower, and you don't have hot water. So you're boiling all your hot water, you're taking little bird baths, and without a toilet, it does mean that you are limited on where you can camp. So you can't just park up and boondock anywhere, because when you gotta go, where are you gonna go? And going back to the insulation, it also means that there's not a lot of soundproofing. So you get a lot of road noise when we're driving. I mean, we can barely hear the radio sometimes, as well as when we are parked and camping, it can be quite loud. I mean, we hear all the neighbors around us, and I'm pretty sure our neighbors can hear everything that we're doing as well. So that's something to be aware of. There's a lot of online support. Again, because people are passionate about these vehicles, there's been a lot of information put out there. So if you need how-tos, resources, guides, just everything, there are support forums of people that have done this, that have figured it out for you, or can help you figure out anything that can go wrong with the vehicle. As well as there are several shops that are full of aftermarket and original parts to help you kind of fix and repair various parts of the vehicle. So if you're restoring or if you just want to maintain, there's a lot out there and that are not that hard to find. It just helps knowing that there are so many resources out there, and it kind of just goes back to the fact that there is a community of people out there that just love these vehicles and want to help each other out. It's small. Okay, so I know I listed this as a pro, and while it does utilize which small space it has quite well, it's still a small space. So when you have multiple people in here with gear and stuff, it could be quite limiting. As well as when the weather gets bad, that's when you really start to feel how much of a small space it is. When you're stuck inside and then you're cooking and you're trying to do some work or you're playing a game and you want to sit down and have the table out, it can get tight to move around, and there's various places to bonk your head, like here and on the other shelf when you're getting in and out of bed. It's a lot more cramped in the back there. So it's a small space, and so you gotta be okay with being cozy sometimes, especially when the weather isn't great. They're vintage and they're cool. People love Westies. There is such a cool community built around maintaining and restoring these vintage vehicles. There's just so much love and passion, and I guess like this whole fun vibe surrounding it. We get lots of waves and honks and comments when we're driving or when we're parked or even when we're getting gas, and people come up to us and tell us their own stories of camping trips that they've taken in their Westies. It's just a unique experience that you wouldn't get with a different vehicle. It's an old vehicle. There is a lack of safety features in these vehicles because they were built 35 years ago. So with the engine being in the back and the front of the vehicle literally being right here, we have no crumple zone. We also have no airbags. So it's safe to say I would not want to be in an accident in these vehicles, and that they definitely wouldn't pass any modern day safety standards. And because these vehicles are old and they've lived a very long life, the conditions really can be hit or miss depending on how well the previous owners have taken care of them. So rust and things to fix. There's always something to fix on these vehicles, on any old or vintage vehicle. So if you're buying an old Westie like this, you gotta be prepared to do a bit of work on it. And last, these things are expensive. You know, for the fact that it's a 35-year-old vehicle that has no modern features, poor creature comforts, that liability issues, fuel economy issues, they are surprisingly expensive to buy, especially when you compare it to modern RVs or modern camper vans. So you kind of need to know what you're getting into and love these vehicles for what they are, because even though it has all of these downsides, we love camping in our Westie and we've had so much fun with this vehicle. So those are just a few things that we wanted to say about our Westfalia. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, as well as hit that subscribe button so you can watch all the rest of our Westfalia content. See you later.